So what's the process like for a director of an Audible original?
So I had never done that stuff. I've been involved in free-form podcasting before, and I've directed, music videos and TV and sketches and stuff like that, and kind of reality-based things. So kind of coming in and just realizing what's stimulating, what kind of keeps someone engaged. And so when I'm editing, say something video based, I kind of you want someone to be, seeing something different or hearing something new. And so when you take out one of those, senses, it's what are the things you can do? It's make it physical. So the idea of having people fill up the space and not just read off the stuff. And then also when it comes to the sound design, which this company Mumble did, which is incredible. What does this door sound like? Well, it's a psychic shop. So maybe the door into this way is a beaded curtain. All right, let's make it, smaller beads, bigger beads. I don't know, that kind of stuff. And now it's a squeaky door. And this, you want to also physically set up the geography of a room too. And all that kind of stuff was super wild and fun to kind of keep the brain engaged. Because if it's just two people talking, then it's it's not as stimulating. It's I have ADHD and I kind of I read a lot about it and what happens with the brain when it has it gets new information. And I've also directed stand-up specials, and that's another kind of thing where it's for the most part it's just a guy on stage, a guy or girl on stage just talking. And how do you when do you cut to another angle? When do you have a move on the camera? These little things all kind of helped inform doing that. So it's very process. I'm sorry if that was real dry, but that's yeah.
I would ask about your research. Have you ever listened to those old-timey radio shows?
Yeah. I listen to I love, there's a radio cast recording of Lord of the Rings, which is really good. And I love listen to old Twilight Zone radio episodes. Those are really, really rad. And they do a lot of that. They do a lot of that stuff. And there's something the audiobook I've listened to the most in my life is Born Standing Up by Steve Martin. And that is a thing where he's so good at when he starts talking about certain old bits and then talks about the audience reaction and the feeling of where the physical space, and then in between chapters it's nice banjo music. And so I thought about all the things I liked about audio stuff, and the music right here should be this kind of thing, and the way it fades in and the way it kind of can transition. And all those old radio shows do that a lot too, which is so great. And this person has to be far away, but they're too far away. But and I remember a long time ago I went to Disney World, and that was the first time I heard 3D audio, and it was in maybe 92 or something like that. But I remember sitting and then someone walking in and the whole panning audio thing, and I was like, we gotta do a ton of that stuff. Yeah, is that possible? Is that going to take up a lot of your time? And they're it's 2023. It's easy.
How did you get involved?
So Felicia and I have worked together. We've known each other for years throughout the kind of the nerd sphere, the nerd entertainment sphere, and then we started working together on a show a few years back. And just in a recent, we actually ended up directing her, and and she and I got along really well. We had done cons together and had acted with each other, but there was never that dynamic. And so when we had that dynamic and we both kind of ping-ponged ideas off each other really easily in a fun way, she was I'm finishing up the script on this thing. I would love for you to come on and direct it. And so yeah, that was I was really excited to do it. Yeah.
All the way back to the Guild, or
no, I never knew her until the last couple seasons of the Guild. It was we didn't start working together until a show on a streaming platform. Yeah, I don't know. I'm skipping around on eggshells.
How much fun is it to direct Neil Gaiman, and how much fun was it working in that role? Because that was one of my favorite things about the first episode.
Dude, it was what am I gonna say? I'm just I'm just a joke boy, that has showed up and stuff here and there. I was and I'm talking to one of the foremost storytellers of the Western world, and I'm sure he'll be fine, and he's very funny and very affable, but he's very serious. But it was just that thing. I'm okay, I'll let him go. But I was okay, you could be a little funnier here. Actually, pull back and go more dry Neil Gaiman style. And that was kind of. And then there was I told him this. I was like, oh, try it like this and add this line, and he was like, oh, that's funny. And then like I did it again. Like, and he was just like, that's not funny at all. Like, it was just like, it's like, and then of course, like coming in and coming out, my self-esteem remained the same, but there was a big spike in the middle of it. You know? Yeah.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
of course.